All right, today we're going to talk about something that's really important for so many of us. We're looking at the common medications that we rely on every day and how their relationship with our heart can quietly change, especially after we hit 60. And that's the big question, isn't it? Why would a pill that's been your trusted friend for years suddenly become a potential risk? Well, here's the thing. It's not always the medication that's the problem. It's that our bodies change. And look, this isn't about scaring anyone. It's about putting the power of information back in your hands. Let me tell you about Arthur. His story is one I hear all the time. He felt great, but a simple over-the-counter pain reliever was putting a hidden strain on his heart. His experience points to a huge blind spot that a lot of us have, and that's exactly what we're here to fix today, to give you the right questions to ask. So here's our game plan. First, we'll get into why turning 60 is such a game changer for your body. Then, we're going to bust 5 common and frankly dangerous myths about medication. After that, I'll give you a super simple tool called the HEART check. We'll also cover the warning signs to watch out for, and we'll wrap it all up with a practical 5-step action plan you can use immediately.
Okay, so let's dive right in. Why does everything change at 60? To really get a handle on the risk, we first need to understand 3 silent but major shifts that are happening inside our bodies as we age.
Change number 1, our arteries get stiffer. Just think about a brand new garden hose. It's flexible, it's pliable. That's kind of like your arteries when you're 40. Now imagine that same hose left out in the sun and cold for 20 years. It's stiff, it's brittle, it doesn't give. That's what happens to our arteries. It means any medication that nudges your blood pressure up is now pushing against a system that's much less forgiving. Next up, number 2, our kidneys slow down. They're the body's master filtration plant, right? When we're younger, they're super efficient at clearing medications out of our system. But as we get older, that process isn't quite as zippy. This means medications can stick around for longer, and that can lead to them building up to stronger concentrations than your doctor originally intended. And the third big change? Well, it's the simple fact that many of us are taking more than one medication. In fact, the average person over 65 is on 5 to 7 different meds every single day. Now, each pill might be fine on its own, but your heart doesn't get to deal with them one at a time. It gets hit with the combined effect of everything at once. This creates what experts call a layered strain. It's a total burden that can quietly become more than your heart can handle. So, because of all these internal changes, we've really got to challenge some of the things we've always believed to be true. Let's bust 5 common myths that can quietly get people into a lot of trouble. This first one is exactly what Arthur thought. If I can buy it at the grocery store, it must be safe. But the reality is, those over-the-counter safety standards are designed for a general population, which, let's be honest, skews a lot younger. They're not specifically tailored for the unique body of a 70-year-old. Oh, this one is huge. I've been taking this for 20 years and I'm totally fine. But here's the thing about heart risk. It's not usually about one big dramatic event. It's cumulative. It's like a tiny drip of water on a rock. One drop does nothing. But over years and years, that persistent drip wears a groove. The small daily strain from a medication can do the exact same thing to your heart and arteries, quietly, slowly, but surely. You go to the doctor, you're sitting calmly, they take your blood pressure, and the number's great. Phew, you think, I'm in the clear. But that reading is just one snapshot in time. The real question is, what's your blood pressure doing 2 hours after you take a pill and then you go climb a flight of stairs? That's when these hidden spikes can happen, and that one good reading in the clinic will never show you that. And listen, this is not about blaming our doctors. They are doing their best in a system that often only gives them 15 minutes per visit. In that short time, it's almost impossible to do a deep dive into the combined age-related risks of every single thing you're taking. That's where you come in. An informed patient, a partner in your own care, can help close that gap. So, what's the solution? How do we have that better conversation? Well, I've got a really simple tool for you. It's called the HEART check. It's 5 letters, each one representing a category of medication that's worth reviewing with your doctor. First up, H is for high-dose anti-inflammatories. You probably know them as NSAIDs, like ibuprofen and naproxen. This was Arthur's issue. These can make your body hold on to fluid and directly raise your blood pressure. So the critical question you need to ask your doctor is, given my age and how my kidneys are working now, is this dose still right for me? E stands for evening sedatives. These can mess with how your body naturally controls blood pressure while you sleep. But just as importantly, they dramatically increase the risk of a fall. and a fall can lead to a broken hip, surgery, and hospitalization, all of which put a massive amount of secondary stress on your heart. The conversation here should be, can we figure out why I'm not sleeping instead of just treating the symptom?
Next, A is for airway decongestants. The stuff you take for a stuffy nose. The way these work is by constricting your blood vessels. But here's the catch. They don't just work in your nose. They constrict blood vessels all over your body. For someone with those stiffer arteries we talked about, that can cause a really sharp, dangerous spike in blood pressure. R is for replacement hormone therapies. Now, this one is really nuanced. The conversation around these is not just about risks, but how that risk to benefit calculation changes over time, especially when it comes to blood clots. So this isn't about stopping therapy, it's about asking, is the way I'm taking this, a pill versus a patch, for example, and the dose I'm on still the absolute best and safest choice for my body today? And finally, T is for thyroid medications and some prescribed stimulants. Think of these medications as turning up your body's engine a bit. They can increase your heart's workload and its need for oxygen. A younger heart can handle that extra demand no problem, but an older heart might struggle to keep up. So the key here is asking, is my dose still perfectly tuned to what my heart can comfortably handle right now? Okay, so knowing what questions to ask is half the battle. The other half is learning how to listen to your own body. So let's quickly cover 4 physical clues that could mean your system is under a little too much strain. If you notice these, it's time for a prompt call to your doctor. So what are you looking for? First, any new or worse swelling in your ankles or legs. Second, look at the scale. Sudden weight gain, we're talking 2 or 3 pounds in just a couple of days, can be a big red flag for fluid retention. Third, a new feeling of breathlessness when you're doing simple things that used to be easy. And fourth, getting headaches more often, especially right when you wake up. Now remember, these aren't a diagnosis, but they are important signals. They're your body's way of saying, hey, pay attention. So please report them. Okay, we have covered a lot. The why, the myths, the what to look for. Now we get to the most important part of all. How do you take all this information and turn it into a positive, productive action plan? All right, here it is, your 5-step plan. Step 1, get a piece of paper and list everything you take. I mean everything, prescriptions, vitamins, herbal supplements, the works. Step 2, next to each item, jot down roughly when you started taking it. That gives your doctor really valuable context. Step 3, call your doctor's office, but don't just ask for a checkup. Ask specifically for a medication review appointment. That tells them you need to talk details. Step 4, bring your list and your questions using that HEART check as your guide. And step 5, and please don't skip this one, tell them about all the over-the-counter stuff you take regularly. That's the missing piece of the puzzle so many times. And this quote on the screen just sums it all up perfectly. Modern medicines are miracles, and they are often absolutely essential. This is not about being afraid of them or stopping them. It's about being smart. It's about partnering with your doctor to regularly make sure that your medications are still a perfect fit for the body you have today. So here's the bottom line. Your body has changed, and it's okay. It means your medication plan might just need a little tune-up to change with it. The goal is a perfect fit, not just good enough. So I'll leave you with this to think about. What is the very first question you're going to ask at your next medication review? Because asking that one smart question might be the most important thing you do for your health this year. Thanks for joining me.